All right. Hopefully it's still not lagging. I'm back. Hopefully we're not lagging anymore. Do not see anybody in chat yet, though. So back to Dallas. We're watching this big storm. Looks like it basically went south of Dallas at this point, mostly south. Looks like it lost a lot of its strength. Much weaker, but this one on top of Weatherford's now producing 4-inch size hail, so that's actually insane. But we have 4-inch size hail on top of Weatherford now. Not good at all. Not good at all. I think it's live. Yep, it's live as of 1 minute ago. Sweet. Hopefully, I'm no longer lagging. My warnings are not showing properly, though. Looks like we're missing some warnings here. They're only showing the ones up in Wyoming, I believe. So let's go back up to Wyoming, where this tornado warning is. Casper. Still have a bit of rotation out here by Casper, it seems.
Alright, here we go, we're good. Sorry, guys. Keep on rolling north here. Appreciate you guys all staying here, tuning in. Sherry, thank you so much for the Venmo. Very generous. Thank you so much for your support.
Nobody's come back yet. Okay, now thought people are starting to show up again. I don't know if I'm still lagging. I'll wait till somebody says something in chat. Hopefully that fixed it. I called Spectrum, had my internet reset, and I restarted my computer.
Garrett's from getting sick as well. We are now paying for 2 separate hotel rooms.
It's like the one down here in Texas kind of just gave up, and it's like falling apart. But the one by Weatherford, literally getting 4-inch size hail on Weatherford, and it looks like it's following this highway. So it's moving its way along, and this thing's going to be hitting for Fort Worth soon, too, as well.
And he had to get a rental car.
The one down here in Dallas looks like it's much smaller, less of a threat than it was. Is it still lagging, Mask? I don't know if we got anybody in chat from Dallas. Sweet. Am I still lagging, Astronomy? That's the second time in 1 week I've called Spectrum, and they're like, I'll reset your mode, because you don't even have to talk to a real person anymore. It's just AI, right? And they'll be like, I can reset your modem. That should fix the issue. That happened to me when we had that tornado down in Georgia a couple days ago, and then I tried to stream and it was just lagging. Okay, it's not lagging. Great. Oh, you're not from the US, Mask? How you doing, EM? So we literally have like 4-inch size hail just drenching Weatherford right now. A monstrous storm right here. Absolutely beast. And it's heading towards Fort Worth. I don't know how long the storm's going to maintain its strength, but this thing is a monster. Like, this storm is massive. 4-inch size hail dropping literally right, like, the brunt force of this storm is literally obliterating Weatherford right now. Unreal. No, this is a weather radar, Mask. I don't think we have any tornadoes right now. Mainly I went live because we had a severe destructive, basically a SRVC, it's a destructive, severe storm warning because strong winds and large hail. Normally I only do stream just tornadoes and stuff, but we had such a big city with such a large storm. I went live just so people, in case anybody was worried about it. But looks like the one that was on Dallas, looks like it basically barely hit southern Dallas and gotten a lot weaker. So I don't know. That's why I was curious if anybody was from Dallas that got hit by this storm, because it lost a lot of its strength. I don't see nearly as much hail. It got downgraded to like $half size hail. Let me go ahead and pull up. We had a tornado warning up in Wyoming, which is really odd. Let me go back up to Wyoming, because this thing is getting really close to Casper now. Looks like a lot of hail. So this thing's making its way to Casper really fast. Pretty sure we had a tornado on the ground with this storm about 15, 20 minutes ago. This is heading right into Casper in Wyoming. We're really far from the radar site here. Turn up the velocities so we can see where the strongest velocities are in this thing. I mean, it looks like it could still possibly be rotating pretty good right up in here. This is basically the same area that rotation was when this thing was tornado warned. I mean, we're really far from the radar, and I think it's basically stretching out these velocities more than it should, but we're kind of seeing an area. Let me make sure. Let me get my zoom it back on so I can draw on the screen.
Sure is pretty though up there. I'll give it that.
Kind of right in here, you can kind of see. I think these velocities should be closer this way, but we're so far from the radar, we're just not seeing it. But yeah, the velocities are really strong in the same place it was when this thing was tornado warned. And we still have some rotation here for sure. We're really close to a band of interference as well. I don't know if I can get a better view from this thing on a different radar. Kind of. Nope, this one's really far. This one's really far. This is really our best radar at the moment. How you doing, Krabby? Yeah, 4-inch hail. I know, it's crazy. Let me go back down to Texas. We have 4-inch hail on top of Weatherford right now, heading to Hudson Oaks. Looks like it's back down to 3.10-inch size hail. You guys need to take your shelters in Weatherford, Hudson's Oak, Willow Park. Let me pull up our map again. And we also have Storm Runner Media is basically making his way to these storms, I believe. I'm not sure which one he's going after. Well, I wanted to pull up Google Maps. Google Maps, Weatherford. But yeah, we have some real big hail basically making its way to Fort Worth and Dallas eventually, but right now it's right on top of Weatherford. Yeah, you can check Waco if you want. There's not. I don't think there's anything down. Well, there is storms down there.
Just tell the people that roll up to you, they slow down to look at your car, and then they keep going.
So we got 3-inch size hail on top of Weatherford now. We're in Texas. Oh, Waco's in Texas. It's a little further south from where we're at. Man, Google Maps is lagging now.
Damn, I got traffic to contend with here now, apparently.
Waco's, yeah, actually Waco's about to get hit by a storm, it seems. We got a storm coming right on top of Waco right now. We'll check that out here in a minute. basically, yeah, our tornado warning or 2% chance for tornadoes is like in this area here. So, and I need to pull up pivotal weather again too, so we can look at our tornado threat for today. So yeah, our tornado threat's just right in here today. It's a very small chance for tornadoes today, just a 2% here in Texas. Waco is actually in it. Right now, Weatherford is just getting hammered with hail, and it looks like Willow Park is next. So yeah, there's a lot of houses and looks like businesses along this road here on I-20, Interstate 20, and this hail core is literally right on top of Interstate 20 right now. So if you're on Interstate 20 and you're between Willow Park and Weatherford, you probably, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I couldn't imagine driving through 3-inch size hail on a highway. That would be absolutely scary. I don't know, maybe if the police just shut down the highway temporarily for when this happens, like, because this monstrous hail core is literally right on top of Interstate 20 right now.
Okay, if I can go half a mile, that's all I need to do is go half a mile. No, I'm not gonna be able to catch.
Yeah, the hail core is literally like right here. It's heading towards Willow Park, Drake's Yoke, Brookshires.
Very aggravating. I-35 isn't in West Texas.
Let me go check out Waco. Oh, here's the tornado warned storm, or was tornado warned. This thing's getting really close to Waco or Casper. There still is a bit of rotation in this storm, so it is no longer tornado warned though. All right, let me connect this one down by Waco.
I didn't know though. I did not know.
I don't know if the storm's going to go north of Waco or no, it's coming right on top of you. There's a little bit of rotation in this thing too. There's a little bit of rotation in this storm coming near Waco. We don't have any warning on this thing at all. Let's take a look and see how big this is. So it should be starting to rain in North Waco right now. I don't see any hail in this storm. Does Wendy actually have the cams? Or is it just recorded video? There's a little bit of rotation in this thing up here in the back end. You can kind of see it back coming down through there. Turn up the velocities. Doesn't look bad though. Nothing high velocity. And this just looks like a big rainy thunderstorm right now. Even though it's rotating a little bit, it doesn't look like a threat really. I think our tornado chances are really low today. It's cams. Windy. Let me pull up Windy again. So you actually have cams in Windy? Do we, I'm thinking like, what about a cam up here in, near Weatherford where that massive hail is? My goodness, it's back up to 4-inch size hail and it's on top of Hudson Oaks now. This storm is actually scary looking. This is actually a fairly dangerous situation right here, guys. This is not good. And okay, so this has severe destructive on it now. This one has the highest warning for basically, they might be popping out Amber alerts for this now. Because we got SRV, which is severe, SRV severe, which is like the next level, and severe D is destructive. So like I mean, when you get 4-inch size hail, that can be life threatening. If you're outside without a safety helmet on or something like that. I mean, this could break out your windshields. And this thing is literally going down I-20 right now. Like this thing is going down the highway, which is actually really dangerous. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this doesn't look good at all. This is probably just as bad as a tornado right here.
Looking at the anvil of a storm that's producing baseballs.
Having 4-inch size hail going down a main very important highway, Yeah, I'm in Windy right now. I'm trying to find a cam near I-20 or San Antonio. Dallas. I might have to go to like cams and there's Willow Park.
Everyone's gonna duck over here now. I can't even merge.
Cams are weird. They're not like live cams.
Full send.
It's like showing me like 24 hours.
All right.
I'm just gonna pull up like normal weather cams in Texas.
Right.
Yeah, Willow Park, Aneta, Aledo. This 4-inch size hail's heading right towards you, and it's completely covering I-25 going east.
Probably gonna be like, why are there thousands of cars going? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. We just jumped up 400 people. Did we just get raided?
All right, let me see if I can find Texas street cams. Waco. Are you in Waco, Cassidy? We have a radar down on Waco right now. There is a storm coming right into Waco right now. Doesn't look too scary. We don't have a severe warning on it. It has a little bit of rotation, but it doesn't look tornadic at the moment. It is heading into our 2% chance for tornadoes tonight. We have a 2% chance for tornadoes right here in Texas, but I don't see anything that's really tornadic other than the one up in Miami right now. How's it looking now? Is it raining pretty good there now? Is it hailing at all? Because I really don't even see any hail in this storm. It's got a little bit of a hook on it right here, but this thing really isn't doing much. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of rotation in the storm, but nothing crazy looking. Like I even hear, pull up another 3D view of it. I don't know why my app is being so slow right now. This is weird. So this is a storm right on top of you. So we don't really have any high velocities in the storm right here, So we have some like upper level velocities at about 30, 40 miles an hour, and that's about it. Nothing crazy in the storm. Yeah, this one up here in I-20 is really scary looking. And we also had a tornado warning storm coming into Casper in Wyoming, but it's still kind of rotating. Not too bad. But there's some big hail. Yeah, this is heading right into Casper. This thing was tornado warned about 30 minutes ago. It looked like there was a tornado on the ground at one point. Let me go back up to Dallas though, because this is really the biggest threat right here. This thing's not moving that fast, but it's still right on top of I-20. The entire hail core is literally covering I-20. It's making its way to Willow Park. This thing's moving slow, so it's probably making it look like there's snow on the ground. Let me I'm trying to find some webcams out here, see if I can find a view of this hail. All right, live cams. Texas State live cams. TX dot. See live traffic cams. Here we go. Dallas, Fort Worth. Here we go, Fort Worth. So this thing is moving in towards Fort Worth first, then it'll go through Dallas. Sugarland, Houston. Where's that at? I don't know what's going on with my computer, guys, but it's being really slow right now. Trying to pull up Sugarland. We got a whole bunch of street cams here in Dallas, though. All right, so there's Willow Park. I'm gonna grab a street cam by Willow Park. We'll pop that up. Is that cam just like completely whited out right here? Okay, so this is on I-20, right outside Willow Park. So I don't even think we have live video here. It just takes pictures. So this is by Lake Shore. This is where the hail core is right here. It's literally right here. These are like, I think everything's still image in Texas. We don't have any like live feeds. Looks like it kind of got downgraded though. It looks like it's down to like 2.3 inch size hail here, right along I-20 still. And this is still a severe destructive warning right here. So if you're on I-20 and you're heading west, you might want to turn around if you're heading into Willow Park. Get off the nearest exit and probably wait because you don't want to drive through this mess. That's extremely dangerous. Y'all, you just hit a patch from Hill in Weatherford? Oh man, Alexa, stay safe, please. This looks scary. We have like a really low tornado threat today, but the only reason why we're live right now is because of these big, nasty, severe destructive storms that are heading into Dallas right now. We don't have any tornado warnings. Our tornado chances are really low today. We're basically just watching this monstrous hailstorm basically go down to I-20 and kind of warning people, anybody that comes live. It was 4-inch size hail a while back. So now we're down to like 2.5-inch hail, which is still really big and dangerous. I don't know if you can break a windshield out with 2.5-inch size hail, but I know 4-inch size hail can break your windshield. Pretty creepy storm too, because there's really not much rain before it. You basically hit heavy rain. Next thing you know, you're getting smashed by hail. Gusting, Sugarland, Houston. Where is Houston? Yeah, I don't think there's anything down in Houston yet. Let me pull up our national weather radar. We had a couple storms. We have one that's going over Waco right now. Houston, just looks like there's some rain showers forming up near Houston. Nothing yet, though. Nothing crazy in Houston yet. Where's Benbrook at? Is that in Texas? No problem, Mark. My goodness, look at this hail core. It's right on there. It looks so scary, guys. Whoa. Yeah, we still have this severe destructive warning right here. Still going. Obviously, the hail's still massive. It's heading right towards Fort Worth, right on I-20. Oh, well, if you're in West Fort Worth, you see what's coming at you right now. I mean, we have this monstrous hailstorm right along I-20 heading towards Fort Worth. Not sure exactly where Sugarland is. Fort Worth's pretty big, though. The hail core is just right here on top of I-20. I don't know how big the hail is now. It's saying 1.26 inches on the radar here. Southwest Houston. Oh, Sugarland. Yeah, Houston's good. I don't know if you're playing. I don't. Let's see what the storms are looking like. But our tornado threat's right here in Texas, which is a really small chance today, right? It's not a big deal. I doubt we may not see a single tornado today. I mean, we're expecting to see rain in these areas today, though. This is where we have chance of thunderstorms and stuff. But anything down south just been getting ripped to shreds. I know we had a big storm forming up down south, and it just got ripped apart really fast. There was nothing left of it. Let me go back down to nearby Waco. Okay, so this storm's right on top of Waco now. Still got a bit of rotation in it, but nothing crazy looking. Yeah, we actually had a storm heading towards Houston earlier, but it just got ripped apart. Lubbock? I don't think there's anything going on in Lubbock yet, but we can go check. Let me go back up because we have a tornado warning in Wyoming, which is crazy. So this thing's about on top of Casper out in Wyoming. So if Wyoming, or if anybody's from Casper on this stream right now, this storm's knocking on your door. Still has a bit of rotation. This was our only tornado warned storm of the day so far. This one out here in Wyoming, which is really odd. You never see. I've never seen a tornado warning in Wyoming ever in my life. Let me go connect the Lubbock radar. Here's Lubbock. It's like we have some little storms forming out west of Lubbock. Nothing big yet though. These things will blow up fast though. You know how it is in Texas. They're pretty small still. There is no tornado threat up in Lubbock though. The only tornado threat's basically down here by Waco and south of Dallas and a little further down. Looks like this thing's losing its power, thankfully. And we still have a pretty decent sized hail core running along I-20. But it doesn't look nearly as bad. Hey, thanks, Carnage. Yeah, I wouldn't play. Normally I stream for a long time when we have a tornado threat, right? But we had some really nasty severe storms heading into Dallas, so I just wanted to make sure anybody else concerned, they can pop on here and see what's coming. But the pattern I've been seeing is as these storms move into Dallas, they keep getting weaker, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it looks like this hail core and this thing's really kind of. I mean, there's still a ton of hail, but it's just nothing like it was. If we go back about 10, 15 minutes ago, like this hail core was massive, and we had like 3-inch size hail here over Hudson Oaks. But our DBZ signatures dropped a lot as it's been moving east. Not seeing any rotation. I don't see any tornado threat at all in this storm right here. There's really hardly any rotation. So I wouldn't be too concerned about a tornado with the storm. It's just mainly big, massive hail cores in this thing. We do have some more. We have a few other scattered thunderstorms out here. We have this one over Waco, and we got one that's going into Fairfield now. We should go take a look at that one over there by Fairfield. This is not a weather site. This is a GR2 analyst. If you go down in the description, you can see it's a weather application. This is for PC though. I'm not on a phone. I'm on my computer. I'm streaming to YouTube Shorts, but I'm on a PC. I'm just showing a partial area of the screen. Look, these storms are blowing up quick up here in Lubbock. I knew this was going to happen. Texas storms grow so fast. All right, and trying to get down south. Okay. So this storm's heading over Waco now. A bit of rotation up in the northern parts of it, but nothing looks scary yet. I mean, this is a tornadic favored area. There's a bitter neater juice down here. There's quite a bit of rotation actually in this one over here by Fairfield. Looks really broad, but this whole thing's rotating. So you can see right here where we got red and greens, that's winds going this way. And then we got winds going that way. So that's how you kind of see if a storm's rotating. Let's take a big look at a 3D view of this thing. Server velocities are pretty scattered out here. Nothing doesn't look too threatening yet. I don't know if I have a closer radar. Pull up the NROT. You can kind of see we have a little bit of rotation here. Nothing too crazy yet, though. Actually, it might be best if I look at that storm from the Dallas radar, to be honest. Let me try to look at it from Dallas. It looks like we're starting to get a bit of rotation down here. This little hook that's forming down here is heading to the south part of Waco. We kind of see a little hook forming. Got a little bit of rotation there. We'll keep an eye on that one. All right, let's go back up to Dallas. Okay, see, this is good now. Looks like this hail core, looks like it's pretty much dumped all its hail. I mean, there's still a little bit of hail left, but looks like it's starting to look much safer on I-20 now. I would say it's probably safe to drive through this on I-20 now. I mean, you'll probably still see some hail, but nothing crazy like it was. The hail core's really died out, and it's all the way down to like 1-inch size hail now. So that's good news. It still has the destructive thunderstorm warning on it, but it looks way less destructive. Let me read what it says real quick from National Weather. Now this one right here, this is National Weather right here. This is the National Weather radar. Like if you go to radarweather.gov, you can use this radar if you want. Let's see what our warning or alerts are for this one still. One alert. Severe thunderstorming, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is just the watch. Whatever the alert is, though, from National Weather is probably delayed or not as bad, because we're looking right here on the scan from National Weather, and the hail core doesn't look nearly that big anymore. We can kind of see where the hail core has gotten much weaker in the last couple scans. So we had really bad hail up here. It pretty much looks like it's dropped most of it. So they might downgrade this. They might downgrade it from a severe destructive warning soon. I'm hoping. You live right off I-20. It looks like the worst of it's over. Looks like basically Weatherford. We're seeing like 3 to 4 inch hail in Weatherford, and then Willow Park. And it was just dumping hail all along I-20 here. And once we got to Willow Park, it looks like storm started to run out of hail. And it still has hail, but just not nearly as bad. Just not picking up nearly as much hail in the storm. Looks like it's kind of moving off of I-22 now, and it's heading down towards Aledo, Benbrook, southern parts of Fort Worth. Looks like we have more storms forming too out here behind these storms, so there might be a lot more rain to come here in Fort Worth and Dallas tonight. How you doing, Infinix? I'm gonna go check that storm down by Waco again because it was starting to rotate a bit on the back end. Kind of got like two areas of rotation right here, right in the east side of Waco, and then back here heading towards Woodway. Nothing looking too crazy though. Velocities look very weak, but it is rotating a little bit. Let me try to get a good scan of the storm here. We don't have a whole lot of velocities in the storm. It is rotating, but nothing too crazy. I think it's really far from getting a tornado warning. I don't think we'll probably see a tornado warning at all out of this thing, but it's in favorable environment to produce tornadoes, right? This storm just has no juice in it though. It's too weak, so I don't think we really need to worry about anything. You can't even really classify this storm as a normal Texas supercell because it's just so small. You know, that supercells in Texas are almost always 60,000 feet and they're monsters. This thing, it's just little baby rain showers. But because of the 2% chance of tornadoes they gave us today down in Texas, that's why we're seeing rotation in these storms, even though they're really small. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Dallas radar. No, I meant to look at that storm from in Fairfield from the Dallas radar. Too far away. This thing's got some pretty good rotation and it's got a pretty big hail core coming into Fairfield. There's actually quite a bit of rotation on this thing too. I mean, let me pull up the NROT. So we're seeing quite a bit of rotation in here over curved and heading towards Fairfield. We only have that one severe thunderstorm warning right now, and that's the one over near Fort Worth. It's got some pretty good size. It's like most of the velocities here in the upper levels in this storm, so it's nothing to worry about yet, but it's rotating pretty good in the upper levels. Got a lot of velocities in the upper levels. And 2.8 inch size hail in this thing heading into Fairfield. I don't know how big Fairfield is, but it's heading your way. If anybody's here from Fairfield. Hey Michelle. Hey Robert. Hey Donna Krishana. I can't say your name. I tried. We got a little baby storm over here too. Yeah, but that's just a little guy. Lots of rain coming out of that thing though. I'm assuming they're probably going to let this severe destructive warning expire on this storm. Um, is anybody in Fort Worth inside of this storm right now? Does this thing have pretty good winds blowing on it? So I believe we do have some pretty good winds in the storm here. So right here we can kind of see miles per hour. So we're probably seeing about 50-mile-an-hour winds right here coming all along Benbrook where these bright greens are. This is up in the upper levels, but it's a very good chance we might see those kind of winds in front of this storm coming into Benbrook. So is it really windy there, Carnage? I don't know if you're just seeing hail out of the storm. Was a lot of wind too. You're in Benbrook. How's the wind in Benbrook right now? Are these velocities matching on the ground here? Oh yeah, okay, so it's windy. Okay, so yeah, this storm has a lot of wind too. I don't see nearly as much hail coming from this thing. We really lost the hail. Have to keep an eye on this thing for the next couple and see what happens. Oh, let me pull back up. We had one storm chaser here. Is it going to Gilmer? Where is Gilmer? Pull up Google Maps here. Right now we're in pretty good shape, guys. There's really nothing to worry about, I think. Now that all that hail's done dropping on I-20, kind of just see if anything recycles or gets crazy again. Oh, yeah, Gilmer, you're so far away that storm won't even live that long, I don't think. But we don't have any tornado threats at the moment. We got some rotating storms, but nothing looks scary yet. So we got Storm Rudder Media's chasing. Not sure where exactly he's at. He's in Texas somewhere. I know that, but I'm not sure exactly where. He's in Albert, Texas. No, we might have had a brief tornado up in Wyoming. That was about it. The power just went. Oh my goodness, really? Oh, holy smokes, man. That's not good. So this storm is still, it's taking power out. That's not good. So this thing has some pretty good cranking winds. Let me pull up the power outages too. We kind of see what exactly this thing's doing. Let me pull up the power outages. My biggest concern was for Weatherford and Willow Park and Hudson Oaks because they ate 3-4 inch size hail there. So this thing still has the severe destructive warning on it.
Look on your radar, you can't see anything yet, but I promise you there is a storm here. That almost looks like it's sinking south a bit.
Seems like there's a whole lot of power outages registered yet. Trying to see what county Dallas is in.
Thank God for the little bit of daylight we have left.
But Milam County has
Allowing us to at least get a nice structural visual.
1,000 households lost power in Milam County. Another 433 in Falls County.
I'm curious to see if they're going to extend the severe warning, because if they don't, we're not ever going to get into the severe warning box.
Just Dallas, McLennan County. There's no way there's only 120,000 people there. Dallas here, Tarrant County has 969,000 households. 4,300 households lost power in Tarrant County. Oh, Dallas is Dallas County. So
Makes it easier for us to catch, but it means
only 400 houses lost power in Dallas. This storm's over here. Parker.
to the south.
Check it here a little bit. Crazy wind outside, man. This thing's still really cranking. Then, I mean, at least the hail's kind of died out on it, but it still has some really nasty winds. And Carnage is here in Bellbrook, so he's getting some crazy winds. He just lost power. It's like it's starting to form some more hail back here too. This is actually heading into southern Fort Worth right now. It's the worst of the winds. Looks like they're inside Benbrook here.
You'll get, I mean, because this is
So these velocities we're seeing right here, 50, 60 miles an hour, it's basically matching on the ground according to Carnage. Good thing is I don't really see any signs of rotation in this yet. Might be a little rotation forming in this thing further down. You kind of see here when I tilt the radar up, we might have a little bit of rotation forming down here, south of Benbrook. We do kind of have a little bit of a hook showing right here. Got a lot of inflow going on. We're really close to the radar too right now. I'm going to actually watch this storm closely right here because we do have a little bit of rotation on the southern parts of the storm. Try to get a good 3D view of this down here. I don't know if I can. We're getting so close to the radar, it's going to cut off. Yeah, see? Kind of see how the radar's so close, it's chopping off the top parts of the storm. Yeah, I'm going to keep a close eye on this part near Crescent over to the east a little bit. See what happens. Let's check this other storm over here too, over by Fairfield. Thing's still rotating pretty good. It's actually got a severe thunderstorm warning on it now. It also has 3-inch size hail. So they went ahead and dropped a severe warning on this. Also has a good bit of rotation down here too. Rotation hail's basically right on top of Teague now. 3-inch size hail, man.
I barely got any of that, but you have a good night too. And it was good talking to you, good running with you this season. Hope to see you out again at some point later this month. But I understand if you don't make it back out till later on. So
Seems like most of the velocities are staying in the upper level still, so that's a good thing. How you doing, 2930B? Now this thing's still kind of maintaining this rotation. It looks like it's kind of rotating a little bit more. Nothing crazy though. So I'm going to try to get a look at this storm from a different radar, see if you can see it any better, because it's so close to this radar. It really isn't anything closer though. I guess I can try KDVYX. I'll bring the Lubbock radar down. Yeah, this storm's getting bigger over top of Lubbock. This thing's actually rotating kind of too. Yeah, it's not. They're not really getting much bigger. See if I can get a better look at this storm over near Fort Worth. It's really an radar interference from this one.
Okay, the storm is now starting to come into frame on radar here.
Where's that storm? Look at this. Wow. Got a new storm forming up over top of Round Rock too. This whole thing is like rotating as it forms. That's nuts. You can kind of see it right here. That's so neat looking. Almost looks like a little baby hurricane forming. It's nuts. All right, so looks like most of this storm's made it through Waco. Still quite a bit of rotation up here by Gibson, but nothing crazy looking. It's kind of the same thing that was happening down with these storms further south earlier. They're getting ripped to shreds. I think there's just so much dry air down here. It just basically just rips these storms apart. A little bit of rotation right here. Nothing too crazy though. Wicker G, did I say that right? How do I say your name? Donna? Donna Krishna? Donna Krishna? If anybody's just hopping in, we're here in Texas. Nothing too crazy is going on right now. We have a couple rotating storms. We don't have any tornado warnings right now, but we've had some really crazy hailstorms coming into Dallas, so I went live for that. Mainly just to warn people that are basically getting hit by all this hail. Looks like they went ahead and dropped the severe destructive warning for that one in Dallas. Let's go back up here. According to Savage, he lives down here in Benbrook. He lost power, and we're having like 50, 60 mile per hour winds coming along to this storm as well. But most of the hail, it looks like it still has some hail, but just small hail under an inch long. Really not a whole lot of hail showing up on the radar now. Donna Krishna, how you doing? A little bit of rotation down here. Nothing to worry about yet, though. Hey, yeah, good night, Krabby. This point, you guys, we can watch the forecast for max velocity if you guys want to see it. How many people we still got here? Oh, we still got a bunch of people here. Okay, let's go ahead and watch max velocity's forecast for today. Or, well, it's not just for today. It's for, if anybody doesn't know who this is Max Velocity. He's a meteorologist. He's a big time streamer. I know we're hitting a lot of people on they're on their phones and stuff, right? But this is Max Velocity. He's a very good weather streamer, meteorologist, and he has really good information for us. Let's go ahead and watch his video really quick.
To the United States over the next few days, bringing the return of significant severe weather, which includes the threat of damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. Additionally, there is a chance of seeing northern lights across a large chunk of the United States tonight because of a geomagnetic storm. So in today's forecast, we are going to break down exactly what you need to know about the weather that'll be impacting the United States over the next 7 days. And we'll begin with what's happening across the country today, and things are on the quieter side of things for this beautiful Sunday. The only thing that's really happening is that we have a little bit of convection that's been spurring off here across the Dixie Alley and Texas, which could bring an isolated threat of severe weather throughout the afternoon and evening hours on Sunday. And then back over in the Great Lakes, the Northeast, we have a large low pressure system that is spinning back over in Maine, and this is actually bringing a ton of wildfire smoke out of Canada, which is making things very hazy, and that is also disrupting air quality. And over the next few days, we are expecting the wildfire smoke to continue to fill the skies across much of the Great Plains, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast, even even as we go into Monday, we are expecting a large plume of smoke to sit right over the Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley. So be ready for poor air quality. And if you have any respiratory issues, this could cause some problems throughout the daytime on Monday, even perhaps into Tuesday. On top of that, there's also a chance for a major geomagnetic storm tonight, and this could bring northern lights to a large chunk of the United States. Right now, the thinking is that these northern lights will be mainly visible up here in the northern plains back into New England and perhaps the Pacific Northwest, but the northern lights actually arrived about 8 hours earlier than expected or forecasted, and we actually had northern lights in the Pacific Northwest this morning. So it's unknown if we will see northern lights at this point across the vast majority of the United States, but if this geomagnetic storm re-intensifies, we could see northern lights visible even on phones and cameras as far south as areas like Texas, Oklahoma, and back through the southeast. So stay tuned to our Twitter and Facebook pages at Max Velocity WX. We'll be posting updates this evening if northern lights are going to be visible in these areas. Now, we do have a long stretch of severe weather ahead over the next few days, and it all begins today with a slight risk of severe weather in place in parts of Texas. And by the time you're watching this forecast, there are likely already severe storms ongoing, but the main concern generally is going to be very large hail. Additionally, it may be an isolated.
I'll pause this for a second. I am seeing quite a bit of rotation down here by Teague, so we want to keep a close look on this. So if you're in Jewett, Buffalo, Teague, we could possibly see a tornado warning out of this here in the next 10 minutes or so. We'll see what happens with this thing. I'll go ahead and continue the video.
Tornado or two. We also have 4 other marginal threats of severe weather across the United States, but for the most part, it's just going to be isolated severe weather in those regions. One of the biggest concerns, once again, for today will be very large hail, anywhere from about Houston, Texas, back towards Dallas, Fort Worth. There's a low chance for an isolated tornado or two this afternoon and evening, and if for some reason we do actually have a bit more of a significant threat of severe weather later today, we might go live, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. As we go into Monday, our risk of severe weather will become more organized. We are expecting a potential, at least, for a low-end severe weather outbreak on Monday. Right now, there is a large slight risk of severe weather that expands from southwest Minnesota back into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, and we also have a marginal threat, literally, that goes from Canada to Mexico, where all hazards of severe weather will be on the table. But I think the greatest concern across the board for tomorrow will be damaging winds in addition to some large hail in these regions. There is a low chance for an isolated tornado near our surface low, which will be back over in southwest Nebraska, northwest Kansas, and northeastern Colorado. At this time, this does not appear to be anything too crazy other than hail and wind, but again, maybe a couple of tornadoes being a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised if we got an isolated tornado a little bit further down to the south, but that is going to be contingent on there being enough low-level moisture, which for right now, it looks like it's going to be relatively dry in this area, despite there being a lot of instability. So as long as it's dry enough, we probably will not see much in the way of a tornado threat, but keep an eye on tomorrow. If for some reason the dew points are higher than forecasted, we definitely...
Okay, something about our tornado threat for tomorrow. It's basically just right in here for now, unless they upgrade us.
Could have a few problems down there. As we go into Tuesday, we got a huge risk of severe weather. It's a very thin and narrow corridor anywhere from the Great Lakes back into Texas. All hazards of severe weather will again be on the table on Tuesday, and I do think our tornado threat will at least be slightly more elevated on Tuesday. Additionally, we are expecting basically widespread thunderstorm activity anywhere from Dallas, Fort Worth, all the way back up into the upper peninsula of Michigan. So again, make sure that you're staying weather aware on Tuesday. This looks like it'll probably be almost an all-day event. We'll have multiple rounds of thunderstorms in this region. And with all that said, there is a good chance I'll be live on Tuesday covering this threat of severe weather, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the bell icon so you're notified if we do go live. As we go into Wednesday and Thursday, I think severe weather is going to become a lot more isolated. I'll be keeping an eye on the Northeast and the Ohio Valley on Wednesday, and then back over in the Southern Plains, a re-sparking of severe weather.
We are seeing quite a bit of rotation down here by this storm, and that thing is looking like it's really spinning up good. Quite the velocities decided to reach down in this storm down here by Fairfield. It's actually starting to intensify quite a bit right here. We might see a tornado warning out of this. Velocities are getting pretty strong down there too. Right here, south of Teague, heading towards... Looks like we got actually quite a few houses and stuff down here. No, this looks like oil fields or something by Farrar and Donnie. Got a bit of rotation on this one now.
Additionally, Friday and Saturday, which we'll talk more about this here in a second, I do think there's a better chance of significant severe weather across parts of the central and southern plains. So definitely keep an eye to the skies later into the work week if you're back over in the southern plains. Now, Tuesday's severe weather event is a little bit more tricky to forecast because it's going to depend a lot on what happens during the morning hours with our convection.
That's what I'm
that's
really
left over
wanting to
from
know about.
Monday.
It's Tuesday.
But generally speaking, across the Midwest, I'm not expecting anything too crazy right now in the Midwest. I think isolated large hail and damaging winds will be our main concerns. There could be an isolated spin-up tornado somewhere in here, but I think overall we're not talking about anything too crazy. Further down to the south into parts of Missouri and also back over in the central plains, it's very different. I think those areas are going to see more significant severe weather. But if you're in the Midwest, this right here would be what we're watching for going into Tuesday evening. We may see a line of storms capable of damaging winds and maybe embedded tornadoes, so we'll have to keep an eye on that if you're back over in parts of Illinois or even back over into Missouri. This is what it looks like throughout the morning hours on Tuesday across the central plains. A lot of scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. This will help to stabilize the atmosphere some, but again, if this convection can clear out fast enough, we could have a more robust threat of severe weather on Tuesday. Right now, the Rufus model here is showing that we could see a line of thunderstorms or even just a bunch of supercells that fire all near each other on Tuesday, right around and just after lunchtime, just to the south of Kansas City and also back through Oklahoma City, where all hazards of severe weather would be on the table. And I do think on Tuesday, the most significant severe weather will likely lie in this region here, which is mostly central Missouri, back into the Ozarks and into central Oklahoma. Eventually, by around 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we got two different.
That's where we're most likely going to see tornadoes at on Tuesday in this area, huh? Looks like a lot of straight line wind storms.
Clusters of storms ongoing. We'll probably actually have more than two, at least this model showing two, but there will probably be multiple clusters of storms that are ongoing throughout the afternoon hours, with all hazards being possible. But I think damaging winds and hail will be the greatest concern out of this event. If we have any discrete convection, definitely some more tornadoes will be a possibility. As we go into the evening hours, storms will continue. It'll be pretty messy out there. A lot of rain as well. Flash flooding will likely become a pretty big concern as well, with training storms in this region. And if you're back over in the southern plains, there will be plenty of showers and thunderstorms out there during the mid to late afternoon and early evening. Storms will be approaching the Dallas-Fort Worth area across much of North Texas during the mid to late evening into the overnight hours, and eventually into Wednesday morning, those storms will be falling apart. And then Wednesday will likely be a little bit more active again, but I think overall on Wednesday, for those in the southern plains, we're talking about mesoscale features that'll help to amplify.
Indianapolis to New York City Wednesday. Wednesday, I don't think we really have anything. I mean, this is Tuesday, right? You kind of see what Max was talking about. It's going to basically be long, strung out storms through here. I don't know if we have anything for Wednesday yet. Let's look. No, they don't have anything for Wednesday yet. It doesn't go out to day 4. Day 3, we can't even see our tornado threat for day 3. Day 1 tornado threats like right down here in Texas, where we're seeing the rotating storm now. Day 2 tornado. It's like right up here in Nebraska. Smaller. I thought tomorrow's going to be much worse, but it doesn't look that bad at all, to be honest. I mean, we have a rotating storm right here, though. This is like the only storm that's actually rotating right now. Right here by heading towards Donnie and Farrar. Honestly, I didn't think we were going to see anything rotating, really. I mean, it's pretty broad still, but it was reaching down pretty good.
A few supercells with mainly large hail and damaging winds. Tornado threat should stay low for most of the southern plains. Now, beyond Wednesday, the threat of severe weather is going to continue with a very active weather pattern. This is what our jet stream looks like right now. We got a big dip in the jet stream over the Pacific Northwest, and then a couple of little shortwave troughs that are right underneath that are going to continue to bring the threat of severe weather over multiple days this week. We are expecting severe weather literally every single day, and most days will at least be a slight risk of severe weather. I do not
probably
going to
see severe weather on Wednesday,
on any given day this week. I do think Thursday and Friday do look a little bit more concerning because we're going to have a slightly more amplified shortwave trough moving over the Rockies. Confidence is still somewhat low in this, but I do think a more robust threat of severe weather will be possible Thursday and Friday, especially in the central and southern plains. And then by the weekend, I think our jet stream is going to become a little bit more zonal, which means it should be a bit more flat. But if we have any shortwave troughs still going by the weekend, severe weather may continue. And a lot of models and a lot of guidance right now with our ensembles are indicating that Friday, Saturday could be slightly bigger days, and in addition to Thursday. So we have to keep an eye on those 3 days in particular. I think for the next 4 or 5 days, there's no really slam dunk severe weather or tornado outbreak in the near future, but severe weather will be possible every single day, and there definitely could be some dangerous storms out there. Let's put this into more simplistic terms with the future radar. This is what it looks like on Wednesday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue across many areas from the Great Plains back into the Northeast.
So there you go, Rudy.
organized on Wednesday for severe weather. I think the Northeast and as well as the Ohio Valley, we could see a few isolated severe storms, and then a slightly more organized threat of severe weather may take place in the high plains on Wednesday. Thursday
It's
looks
like
a
out
little bit
in
more
Kansas,
dangerous. We could have a
Oklahoma,
slightly more
Nebraska.
amplified trough that could bring a slightly more significant threat of severe weather from Nebraska and South Dakota back into west and central Texas, with all hazards of severe weather being on the table. Into Friday, right now, the GFS model is indicating that trough moving rapidly off to the east towards the Great Lakes. Could have some scattered severe weather stretching from Oklahoma back towards Lake Erie. And then on Saturday, this is where things become a lot more uncertain. But I think this active
Might
weather
be the
pattern
end
is
of
going to
our
continue.
tornado
I do think
season,
generally,
maybe,
though,
finally.
anything beyond Thursday of this week looks to be a lot more mesoscale rather than a low pressure system like synoptic scale. So a lot of our mesoscale days, again, can be significant. It's just a matter of what the ingredients look like on the day of, which makes it very difficult to forecast stuff like that 5+ days in advance. So we don't necessarily know what's going to happen yet really beyond Friday or Saturday, but I do think it is going to stay very active with multiple shots of severe weather, especially in more localized areas. I also want to talk briefly about the chance of a tropical storm or hurricane as we go into the middle of June. There is still a low chance that something forms in the Caribbean Sea or in the Gulf as we go into the middle of June, sometime around June 9th to June 14th or so. It is still very uncertain
Carnage.
what's
That
going to
storm
happen.
looks
The
like it's
GFS
really
model's
died
been
down.
spewing out a hurricane almost every single run here for the last several days, but there are no other models that are showing this right now. So I do want to point that out, that this probably will not happen, especially to this extent. But
It's
I
like
do think
right on
there's still
top
a
of
low
Fort
chance of
Worth now,
something
but it
tropical
looks
going
like
into
it's
the Gulf
lost most of
sometime
its juice.
over the next 2 weeks. So definitely something to stay weather aware about if you're back over along the Gulf Coast. And speaking of hurricanes, the
There's a new
NOAA has
storm
released
forming
their
up back
hurricane
here by
outlook for the
Weatherford.
2025 hurricane
We'll look at it
season,
here
which
in a
again
minute.
begins on June 1st. And there's about a
Video's
60%
almost
chance
over.
right now that we'll be having an above average season, and then about a 30% chance of an around normal season. So we will likely see multiple major hurricanes. Again, whether those will hit the United States, we have absolutely no clue. With that said, I would anticipate that this season will be active across the Atlantic Ocean. And as always, thank you all so much for watching today's forecast. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We'll have another
All right. So if anybody didn't know who that is, that's Max Velocity. I know, like, he's like one of the biggest streamers in YouTube for weather. If you go in the description, I have him linked in there. I know we try to reach out to more people with me going on YouTube Shorts, so we like basically let a lot of people know. We got Max Velocity, Ryan Hall, Evan Freiberger. There's a lot of streamers, and me included. You know, between all 5 of us and NW116, between all 5 of us, you'll be able to find somebody streaming weather at all times. But we will have you covered. Yeah, this storm's gotten a lot weaker, but there is this other one back here by Weatherford. Doesn't look like it has much of a hail core. That one is kind of rotating a bit down there, though. This other one over here, let me go back to that. I was getting ready to shut down the stream, but I said, let's go ahead and watch Max, because he's a meteorologist. He does all the forecasting and stuff. I'm just a storm spotter. Yeah, this thing's still maintaining quite a bit of rotation here. This is basically pretty far west from Waco, near Fairfield, Teague, Buffalo, Joliet. Still got a good bit of rotation in it, but doesn't look too crazy. But I mean, I was looking at the 3D view of this thing. It looks like the velocities are kind of cranking throughout the levels. We got a lot of radar contamination right here too. Pretty good size storm, pretty good size supercell. But you can kind of see, man, we do have some velocities reaching down on this thing. It looks like it's trying to rotate pretty good, and I mean, we do have a 50% chance for tornadoes in this area, but yeah, like these are our higher velocities. This thing's reaching down pretty good. We could possibly see a tornado warning out of this thing in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. I mean, you can clearly see it's pretty obvious when you look at the velocities inside this storm where the rotation is. How you doing, skeptics? Well, the tornado season's supposed to be over. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like March, April, May is usually when you see a lot of tornadoes. But we keep getting areas, we keep getting days with severe weather chances, you know, it's just how it is. I wasn't planning on going live at all today, but I seen, you know, a severe destructive storm heading into Dallas, and I just wanted to be able to warn people of, something crazy, when, it's an actual threat to people. Like, people can get severely hurt if you're getting hit by 4-inch size hail, and you're not inside. So, but this one is definitely rotating pretty good right here. It's got a good chunk of hail and it's got a bit of rotation. We got a little bit of a hook here forming. I mean, we got one or two things happening. This thing's going to rotate and try to produce a tornado or make a lot more hail, one or the other. It's already got a ton of hail, but it'll probably reproduce it. Hey, no problem, dude. I'm so glad that I was able to help you. I mean, that was the whole point of me going live. When I see, it doesn't necessarily have to be a tornado, right? If I see a storm that can hurt people and it's going towards a big city, that's when I go live. So, like, we might have a tornado out in the middle of nowhere. I won't even bother going live because it's out in the, the desert or something. But generally, that's when I go live. So when I see that a storm could affect a lot of people. So I believe this one's pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. It's rotating. I'm going to pull up Google Maps and see where this is. Buffalo, Texas. When sometimes you get those little angry kids that come here. Oh, you're stealing Max, dude. I've literally introduced Max Velocity to like 20,000 more people on YouTube Shorts tonight. Like, I'm advertising for them, but it's funny. It's funny to see people get all angry. Max Velocity's huge. Like, he has anywhere from 10 to 50,000 people watching his streams when he goes live during peak events when we have tornadic weather. But yeah, I love Max Velocity. He just finished his meteorology school. He graduated. He's now officially a meteorologist. It's the Charlie Brown thunderstorm. I was trying to pull up I wanted to see if there's what's out here, what's going on with this storm, because it's rotating. I just don't want to like go offline if it's heading towards a town. So I'm trying to get an update on the power outages too. Okay, so we do have some more power outages. Another 1,600 in Freestone County. So, total of like 500 households lost power in Dallas. 48 in Johnson County. 1,700 in Parker. I think that's where we had the 4-inch hail. What county you're in, Carnage? We got another 4,000 households out in Tarrant. I mean, you said the power went out there where you're at, Carnage. Yeah, the main thing I want to check right here to see where this storm's heading, because it has a good amount of rotation in it, but it doesn't look too crazy. Buffalo, Texas. Basically heading to Jewett and Marquez. Yeah, there's quite a few houses out here. I mean, it isn't a huge city, but there's quite a few people that live out here. And this isn't just a rotating storm. It has some pretty decent amount of hail in it as well. Hey, Dean, how you doing? Hi, Tanya. So if anybody's just hopping in, we have a very small chance of tornadoes tonight. It's a very small threat, but we had some big storms coming up through Dallas here a little bit ago. This is actually for tomorrow. We're supposed to see there's 2% chance for tornadoes out in Nebraska, parts of Kansas. And then today we just have a small chance for tornadoes down here in Texas. We haven't seen any tornadoes, but we've seen some really nasty big hailstorms. I mean, this is really the only thing I've seen in Texas actually rotating to a point that it was almost a threat, but it looks like it's kind of losing its rotation. It's still rotating, but not bad. Let me go back up to the Dallas one. Okay. So yeah, this storm was a monster. It was. Like if we go back, yeah, this storm was up over. We had like 3-4 inch size hail come over Weatherford, Hudson Oaks, Willow Park on I-20, which it's fallen apart at this point, and it's basically all the way south of Fort Worth now. Looks like this one isn't even going to make it to Dallas. Might be actually getting a little bit of rotation on this one too. You kind of see how a little bit of a hook's forming right here. It's really close to the radar. But see anything too crazy from that. And we also have another big storm coming back through Fort Worth area and Weatherford. It seems like they get really strong as they're out here, and then they fall apart as they make their way through. But yeah, we have another big storm here about to hit Weatherford again. Not too big, but it's decent sized. Yeah, we haven't had a single. We actually had a tornado warning in Wyoming today, which was nuts. I think that thing was actually on the ground at one point, but we had a tornado warning in Wyoming. I actually made a video on it because I've never seen an actual tornado warning in Wyoming before. Just out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, we're looking pretty good though. Like nothing really looks threatening right now. If we do get any big nasty tornado warnings or something that looks like it's about to drop a tornado, I will go live again, but I think I am going to go ahead and shut the stream down for now. I really appreciate all you guys stopping in, and I'm glad I could help some people along I-20 and then Dallas and Fort Worth with the big nasty hails coming through, and come back in